Hi, I'm Jay,
Hi, I'm Justin.
and this is Some Kind of Game Episode 3. Come LARP with me. Today's episode is about MMOs. Let's get straight into it. How you been, Justin? What you've been doing? Anything interesting you've been up to?
I have actually been playing something that you played recently. I've been playing Project Zomboid, which is a isometric zombie survival sandbox game that has it's been in development for uh, I'm ballparking. I think at least 10 years. I
No
like found
way.
out about it in like high school. I feel like, and I've been following it for a while. Very small team, building things very slowly, but it's essentially it boils down to like really brutal sandbox. You like spawn, and you're probably gonna get bit and die and turn to a zombie. But it's been really fun. Uh, I think for most of us, I feel like you didn't like it that much, Jay.
So, um, so funny enough, right after we played, Nick messaged me and said, "How'd you like it?" And I was like, it was okay." And he said he's gonna refund it. But uh, Nick, by the way, for our listeners, is just a friend of ours. Um, and then what I kept the game because I see the appeal and I think it's a good game, and the progression just feels a little bit off because it is very much like a roguelike where if you die you start over. Um, and you start with whatever you had, or not, you don't start with whatever you had, but like if you built a base or something, the base should be still be there if you remake a character in that same server. So it's very much like a roguelike to me, and the progression curve didn't feel good at the time. Like it felt like I was having fun doing the beginning stuff, which was like looting homes, going to a car and trying to fix it, but I wasn't getting the I'm getting better loot. I'm building like I'm killing more zombies. I'm that kind of feel to it. So
My thoughts to that are one, it's supposed it I feel like it's intended to be like obtuse, like how to progress. Like they hone in so much on like brutal, like it's really hard. It's not necessarily intuitive to do things. And so like as I think as a player, how I would compensate for that is like if somebody I was playing with knew how to play the game. Because when we were playing, we didn't know what we were doing. We were like chasing our own like shoelaces. We didn't really know what was good or where to go. So like I feel like you'd have more fun if you play it again next time, because like we've like figured out what to do, where to go for a base, and so like the progression makes a lot more sense. But if I was like playing this without like the ability to like look things up on a wiki or like hear things from other people, I would have like bounced off, because I would have been like, this is too hard. I'm not really going anywhere. So yeah, I definitely get why it didn't necessarily stick the landing immediately. Um,
yeah.
it's like not an easy game to get into. It like I had to like stick with it, which is like not always what you want out of a game that you're playing in your free time. But it's been fun so far with friends. The server is always welcome. We have a little base going
Hell
in a
yeah.
bar. We have some barricades going, and we like have some ropes hanging out of the second floor that we climb in and out of.
Okay,
Um,
okay.
but how have you been doing, Jay?
Yeah, I've been pretty good. Um, like you said, we played that one game together. I played a little bit of Path of Exile this week with the new league coming out and everything, and then also the League of Legends playoffs are the LCS playoffs are currently happening, and so I've been watching a lot of that. Um, so yeah.
I feel like you have some hot opinions about NA, LCS, different regions,
Uh,
competitive League of Legends as well.
yes, I think I do think I have hot opinions on that, but that would take another hour. So to talk
All right, what about this? Who's better, NA or EU?
EU, 100%. It has to be EU. Jesus, like, dude, because there's a playoff game today.
Forsaking your own
Dude,
country. An American flag is falling off and caught on fire
you
right
know it,
behind you.
dude. Hey, look, all I'm saying is if you watch, and so
Okay.
like it's just awful here. Like I swear to God, some of my friends could be professional players and they're gold players. So that should tell you all you need to know. Um,
Man, you insulted NALCS and your friends by calling them gold at the same time.
Hell yeah. Uh, but to move on to brighter pastures, if you will, um, Final Fantasy XIV. Probably one of the best, most renowned MMOs out there. Like, any top 10 MMO list you see will have this game, like it is juice. It is hot. And I think recently they not I don't know what recent is to most people, but like recent is like within the month and a half.
As of the recording of this episode.
Yeah. They had an expansion, I think, or like a new raid come out, some like, they have like their mid season update. And yeah, we have a friend, Captain Squirrel, who's mildly, you know, popular in the game, if you will, because he is like a week one raider. He goes hard. It's like his second full. It's like his second job right now because he's trying to, get it down. Week one. So yeah, it's pretty crazy, and I think we both have experience with it. And really, like, have you played Final Fantasy, Justin? And if so, like, what's your experience with it? Do you think it's, what it's made out to be? Uh, the hype around it,
Yeah, the thing that always gets me into MMOs, at least I've found as like a sticking point, because I've tried a lot of different ones, with like the promise of like community. I'll make so many friends, such great gameplay, but I've mostly bounced off of them, except for the experiences where I've had friends playing, and it was like, hey, we're all gonna go in as a group and play together. The people I played with at the time. Definitely are usually the people who are like getting these groups together are usually like there are usually like MMO heads in there. So like while I'm like walking two steps, like tripping over every single rock, like reading every single bullet point for what gear, they are like miles ahead, already flying. They have a mount that like can take them into space and everything. But I have played Final Fantasy 14. We crossed paths a little bit while we were playing because our
we did.
one of our friend groups like really kind of caught a spark had been ignited, and a lot of us were playing Final Fantasy 14 at the same time.
Yeah.
Except Jay and I are kind of babies. I was making my way through the first chunk of content,
Hmm.
and I had stopped playing a while ago. And then when this happened, I had like gotten back on, and then Jay started from zero,
Yeah.
and he laughed me, and then I was like, man, what am I doing? So I started playing a little bit more in order to beat ARR, A Realm Reborn, which is like the first base game chunk of content that you have to get through. But yeah, Jay was speedrunning. It was really fun because we would just like hop in at a certain time. Everyone was sharing like
Yeah.
tactics, how to make the most points in like
The casino.
the gambling area, yeah,
Yeah.
the casino area, and then like sharing mounts, like posting pictures. It was really fun.
Uh,
And personally, seeing Captain Squirrel like talk about the raids and everything, man, it sounds really fun, and I'm like it always makes me feel like I want to get back into it. But and I think I will at some point. I did beat like ARR that first chunk, but
mhm.
I need to take care of some other. I have some other games in the backlog that I'm trying to play through, and then I will. Then I will probably. I'm hoping to get back into it at some point.
Makes sense. And yeah, I think I beat Heaven's Word, or I'm close to beating it. I'm not sure. Um,
Yeah, I think you're close to beating it,
yeah,
if I remember.
yeah, and then to loop this back to the episode name, come LARP with me. So when we started this escapade to Final Fantasy 14, uh, like I don't know, the way they try to sell it for me is like, dude, you can do really. Final Fantasy 14 has like communities inside of itself, and it's like, if you want a merchant, if you want to just play the casino, if you want to uh, LARP, if you want to
If you
like
want to
just play
LARP,
play like an actual MMO, like RPG, the RPG
right?
aspect of it, right? And so, the LARPing thing was really funny, and I played into it a little bit, and I basically changed my Discord name to "Come LARP with me" at a certain point for a little while, and so that's where the name of this episode comes from today. And yeah, like, dude, uh, getting together with friends and playing MMOs is like such a it's like a very different experience. Like, whenever like a new MMO comes out, like if you can get your friends to like play, we're a little bit older now, so like it's a little bit harder. But it's like it's like no other experience. Like you guys like stay up, you guys play that first 12 hours, or like if a big update come out, you guys are ready, you guys get your snacks, like, you guys get on Discord. You, as soon
Hmm.
as the patch download comes, you guys start downloading, and then as soon as it all runs up, you guys head to, start basically exploring the expansion. And I think uh, you know, a parallel for Final Fantasy 14 because I'm not 100% sure what the cycle is for Final Fantasy 14 or if they have one, but I'm
Hmm.
pretty sure it's like every 6 months there's some sort of content update, but every once a year there's like that big, hey, here's the next thing in, yeah,
Expansion.
like whether it's story related, well, everything really is story related there, or if it's very raid, oriented, um, stuff like that. So, uh, Path of Exile does this really well. They have a 3 month cycle. Every 3 months, I get hyped. I sometimes take a day off of work, sometimes two. I play like that Friday, Saturday, Sunday religiously, 12-hour days plus, and like try to pop off. And it's like a such a surreal experience. Like playing MMOs is like I've actually like met a lot of friends through MMOs as well. Like I've met a lot of online friends specifically through MapleStory private servers. Shouts out MapleStory. Uh, so yeah, I mean, Justin, do you have like, uh, have you like made any, not maybe not lifelong friends through MMOs, but like close friends, people you keep in contact with, or uh, not really?
The answer is a resounding no.
No.
I think it's because I don't play them enough, like regularly. But like I've always wanted to. Like, man, don't friends sound cool? But uh, that has never been. That's never been the case. It's always been like IRL friends, playing something together. I um I like always see my MMO friends like they're like, hey, I just made a friend. Like I see them like making friends like all the whole while, and then meanwhile my charisma stat is just like to the zero. No one wants to hang out. It's probably because I'm still like I'm like in the back eating glue, figuring out how to like do my special ability while everything else has already reset cooldown.
Honestly,
But yeah,
I think the biggest thing is, how I said like Captain Squirrel, our friend, like is like treats it as a second job basically. Uh, Honestly, like that's what it becomes, right? Like MMOs are meant to like suck you in, and like you're supposed to dump hours a day every day, you know, to like play and like to catch up, do your dailies, whatever gimmick they have, right? And I think Final Fantasy does a great job of keeping a balance of like, hey, if you want to step away, go ahead, feel free. We're not too worried. You'll come back, kind of thing. And yeah, like you really have to embrace it and like, like really do the it's my second job. Like I play 4+ hours a day every day, and yeah, you eventually
right.
meet people that way, right? Like you eventually hit the end game. Everybody in the end game sort of does similar stuff. So you meet people, you try to make a static. Um, so yeah, I mean, it's definitely an experience, man.
I'm kind of curious. You're talking about to go back to an earlier point. You're talking about how like there's nothing like playing MMOs together with friends. Either when it's like something comes out for the first time, and you all want to engage in it for the first
Yeah.
time. What do you think it is about MMOs that like distinguish that experience versus playing games together with other friends?
Well, I think the biggest thing, so besides loving RPGs, like I love the concept of RPGs, right? A lot of times it's about character growth, economy,
Number
and
go up.
like, yeah, number go up, burr, right? Yeah, exactly. But, excuse me. Um, but for the case, with like, I don't know, it's, it's a hard, I guess it's hard to describe, but honestly, it's like, uh, I feel like I would feel the same way if my friends were hype about like a concert and like, if we would go to like the next big concert, right? And like then like it's like you know you pop off, you have such a good time, like it's always fun. Like I think that's what it is. It's like uh the concept of togetherness towards like building that one goal, going through the game, sort of like progressing together and sort of
Mm.
building a sense of like camaraderie, right? And doing it while gaming, right? It's hard to like. I will tell you right now, it is, and Justin knows this all too well. It is hard to find a game that all your friends will play and that has the right number of players to play it, right? MMOs is almost always
You
unlimited.
never want to play a game with six
Yeah,
people. Never try to play a game with six
ne-
people.
you heard it here first. 6 player games, shit. but
whoa, whoa, whoa.
but no, I'm just messing. But yeah, it's like hard to find a game that everybody wants to play. But a lot of times, like it's not hard to get a, somebody to get to play an MMO because most of the time they're free, or if not free, they generate a lot of hype usually, right? Like even what was it, New World, Lost Ark, right? Like you literally every streamer was streaming it. Like a lot of times, like that's enough to get your. It's very easy to lure your friends to play it at least once, and so yeah, I don't know. It's just a very good bonding experience in my opinion, or that I've had, right? And just feeling
I
like a kid
also think
again.
that I also think that MMOs have a much more accessible mechanics in order to start and drop into a game versus most common multiplayer
Hmm.
experiences. I think the most common ones are normally competitive ones. I think of League of Legends because that's what a lot of our friends play all the time. And those experiences are competitive, and there's a lot of room to make yourself upset or get your teammates to be upset, and then you have to sit down and commit for 40 minutes. You can't really step aside,
Yeah.
or your teammates will flame you for going to the toilet. um, versus an MMO, you can hop in at any time. Usually people kind of like progressing together, but it's not a big deal if you're not on the same exact point, and you can be like leaps and bounds away. Our friends were had finished most of the content when we were playing, and we were in the beginning of the content, and we were hanging out and having a good time. There's so many mechanisms to engage, and also such a low barrier to entry. It's so low committal. It's
Yeah.
incredibly chill, for lack of a better word. You're just literally hanging out,
Yeah, exactly.
and I think that's what MMOs capture, that other multiplayer experiences with friends don't really capture.
I agree.
The other experiences that typically, like I said, they're like competitive in some sense. There's like a lot of room for people to get tilted
Yeah.
and for like the mood to get sour. So versus like when you're just hanging out, it's a little harder to get upset unless Jay says something inflammatory and just lights the whole group chat on
You
fire.
know it, dude. Sometimes you gotta flame your friends. um, but yeah, like there's such a. I also what I love about it is there's such a wide variety of MMOs available. I mean, some of them not as quality as others, and really MMOs do try to keep your attention, but uh, there's so many different varieties and play styles. Like Lost Ark is very PvP slash like PvE like combat oriented, where Final Fantasy is very story driven with the end content usually being raiding. Path of Exile is really PvE, kill monsters. There are different types of game modes, but like the largest group is softcore trade, which is just you know uh, you have an economy available to you where you can buy and sell stuff, and when you die, you don't lose your character. So, yeah, like, and Path of Exile is a very character build ARPG, right? But it's part of the MMO genre. Maybe not in the.
I've never heard that term before. Soft core trade. That's a
Yeah,
It's very interesting. I never heard that term
yeah,
before.
yeah. I mean, the issue is with, or not the issue, but the reason they had to come up with that is with Path of Exile, they have uh different uh like servers, if you will, and there's hardcore trade, which is like, oh, you can, if your character dies, that character's gone. And then there's you know SSF, which is solo self found, so which means you don't have the trade economy to you. You have to do everything yourself, thing,
Hmm.
pull yourself up by the bootstraps kind of mentality. So yeah, they had to, the name is softcore trade, and yeah, like I guess very similar things for MMOs is how sometimes they have different servers, like even Final Fantasy, like Leviathan. I forgot the other ones because I think I'm in Leviathan. Um, so yeah, it's like that, but there are stipulations to the servers, I guess.
Other servers have rights, Jay.
Oh my goodness. um, but yeah, and talking about different MMOs, um, there's one that I played in the past that has really gone into the dirt. It is
Oh
Digimon
no.
Masters Online. Uh, man, I like uh, that.
So I've never played this one. Do you want to like like describe it a little bit?
Yeah, yeah, of course, yeah,
Like, and also when you played it?
yeah. So I played this. This was after I played MapleStory. So basically, I played MapleStory for maybe you know, 2 years
You've
of my
never stopped.
life. Like,
You've never
well,
stopped
technically,
playing
I've never stopped.
MapleStory.
Like, I still play private servers, but like I play on and off now. But basically, I played for like 2 years of MapleStory, and I looked for something else. And at the time, I was into Pokemon, Digimon, Yu-Gi-Oh, the whole Holy Trinity, if you will, as kids shows, right? And
Yep.
Digimon was my like I preferred it more to Pokemon, and I looked for an online version, and voila, Digimon Masters Online. Sadly, it's mega pay to win, and
Oh,
I never spent $1 on it, but it's like super grindy, and but it's so relaxing. Like the game is it's really monotonous, honestly. Like the gameplay is
are you playing as a
so,
Digimon or are you a Digimon
so you're a
master?
Digimon tamer, and you can have one Digimon out at a time and three Digimon in like your party that you can switch out to if you
Oh,
want. And there's Digimon in the wild, and so you go up to like, and then you can just go up to them and fight them. And most
uh,
Digimon only have two keys. Some have three, and they're cooldown based. And then the only other thing that you have to keep track of is like your HP and your mana, um, that like to use your abilities. And like so every Digimon will always start at its I think it's called rookie
base
form.
form.
So
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
because I don't think there's baby Digimon in the game to my knowledge, at least when I played. And so the
Are there baby Digimon? Are they considered like
yeah,
baby?
yeah. So somebody probably will tell me I'm wrong, but from my understanding, it's baby, rookie, um, ultimate, mega. Uh,
I like how there's no distinction between rookie and ultimate.
wait,
You're like a rookie until you're
wait.
not.
There's something between I think rookie and ultimate. Uh, you want to?
Should we look it
Yeah,
up?
yeah, yeah.
Let's look it up.
Give me a quick look up, dude. We got
Hopefully
Justin
the
in the quick office giving us that quick Google search coming right at you.
okay. All right. So there's fresh, which in your defense, Jay, is the direct Japanese translation of the word they use is baby one.
Okay.
And then so fresh in training, which the Japanese one is baby two. So again, props to you, Jay. So fresh in training, rookie, champion, ultimate, mega.
Ah, okay, okay. Champion Ultimate Mega. Yeah, yeah,
I'm sure different games will like cut out whatever stage for like convenience, but
yeah.
um,
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, you're a rookie until you're a champion. So you're
Yeah.
like just an intern, 9 years in, then they're like, all right, you're a champion.
Yeah, and so the game revolved around basically grinding levels, doing quests, and sort of following the main story quest till you can do like certain raid content. And the raid content wasn't very good, but it was just a whole lot of grinding and getting that Digimon up to a level that you could do raids with. Um, and they honestly there was not a large selection, and it was largely pay to win. But it was still like fun. It was very relaxing. The combat was very slow paced, but still like it wasn't even that rewarding, honestly. But it was very like number go up, items, money go up, so
what year did you play this game? Ish
man,
estimate
I want
like
to say I was in middle school, early high school, so like eighth, ninth grade. So that takes me
like
back
2010s,
to
early 2010s, late 20
2011,
mid
2011,
2010s.
2010,
Okay.
something like that.
Uh, I mean, I can see the appeal of this. I didn't know about this game at that time.
Hmm.
Um, but if you're like what like rang across my ears were this sounds like Pokemon, but an MMO. So I feel like if I was a kid and I heard about this, I would
uh,
have been like, man, this is my jam. But I guess thankfully I didn't because it sounds very painful to play.
so it's
Um,
not that like there was very fun like activities in the game. Um, it's more
mhm.
like the game wasn't that pay to win. It was like pretty pay to win, but like it wasn't like, oh, if I'm a free to play player, like I can't get.
Sounds like Stockholm syndrome.
No, what happened was the original company sold to, I forgot who it was. Like Game King sold to somebody else, or they sold
Hmm.
to Game King, and that's sort of when it went downhill. Like and like
Mm.
everything sort of became very pay to win. Like, uh, like they also so bad side of MMOs real quick. As an MMO has so much content, I think this is what makes Final Fantasy such a top tier, like almost 10 out of 10 MMO is they found a way to make the content leading up to the new end game not obsolete and not so rushed. Like you can buy a rush if you want, right? You can just buy a flat out level 80 character, I think. Which, if you want to do it, like, not everybody has the time. Like I said, MMOs are like second jobs, right? But what they did here is like they're like, screw it, just skip everything. Like, uh, they have EXP boosters that are 10,000 times, you know, multipliers, and
Hmm.
so,
Right.
you know, that's like a very band aid hit, and you know, that's how you know that like usually the MMO is going downhill a little bit when like this like stuff becomes really really obsolete and like you're able to do like the you know like maybe the first third what's supposed to be the first first third or two-thirds of the game like within 2 hours, and really you're spending all your time in that last third. You're supposed to really, I feel like you have to homogenize it as you get bigger and expand, and the more content you add,
Hmm.
like make it feel like the old content isn't useless and unfulfilling, in my opinion. Yeah.
I'm curious if you can remember what was the one breaking point that you were like, all right, friendship over with Digimon Masters Online. Now MapleStory is again my new best friend.
There wasn't like I don't think there was any breaking point. It's more like I got uh bored of the monotony, right? Like I said, the game the gameplay of the game is like maybe a 3 out of 10, 4 out of 10. It's not super interactive, very relaxed, right? Like it'd be like if you were playing Pokemon, uh, in like a game, right? Like in the sense of you can take as long as you really not as long as you want, but it's like you press A to select your move, and then the move happens for you, right? Obviously, there's thought and stuff into that. The issue is here is that there wasn't so much thought that you had to do to press these buttons. There were like few like typing advantages, but it wasn't very important. And so, like I said, the gameplay of it was just super. The bar was very low. Like there wasn't very much
I
interactiveness.
see.
It's just there's a
I
lot
see.
to grind for and get your Digimon. Like I love Digivolving. Like that was my thing. Like I love. Uh,
Digivolving in general is pretty sick across all the games and in the anime. Digimon is a pretty cool franchise.
yeah, I agree. Um, Speaking of old school MMOs, do you ever like RuneScape usually comes to mind when people think of MMOs? Honestly, like it's probably one of the I guess that and WoW. I didn't play WoW, so it doesn't really come to mind. But uh, Did you play RuneScape? Were you a god at RuneScape? Did you have your smithing at like level 100?
Does it go to
I
100?
don't.
I think it goes to like 99. But
My bad. I don't even know.
my I don't know. It could have changed, but or I mean, I could just be wrong. But for me, the analog, I think, for your childhood MMO, which yours is MapleStory, mine's was RuneScape,
Hmm.
but only for like a brief blip in my middle school career. I think around fifth grade to seventh grade ish.
Hmm.
So again, that's like late single digit 2000s. I was playing RuneScape, and I think I only had like one friend playing. I think I only had one or two close friends playing, and we would play. Sometimes we would like get on the computer lab. We would like do our assignments early in computer class in middle school, and then like be like, all right, time for RuneScape. We're gaming. And yeah, I a lot of that like monotonous, I think like grinding. For some reason, I also have like a fondness for it. I don't think I can go back to RuneScape,
Yeah.
but like as a child, it was so cool to like walk around. There's it just felt like there's so much to do, and then you could look up like these six strats that made you really feel like you were cut. You're like, all right, I'm like I'm scamming this game. I'm like jumping up ahead and like figuring out how to beat the system. But that was really cool as like a middle schooler to like experience that. I in like 2022, that is like the default experience. There's so much information available that like you can game any game now or like really optimize it. But like
But
that was a like introduction to me.
yeah, I did. But what I was gonna say is, how you were saying like it, you said it earlier, but it's like a really low bar of entry, and I think RuneScape is like the epitome of that. But I think it's also like the epitome of simple can be good, right? Like, I think something that's not lost in a lot of today's MMOs, but really forgotten about is they try to make so many systems and too intricate slash convoluted, right? Like sometimes like it's okay to be like, here's just a um like to upgrade your gear, it's just, you go to the smith and you ting 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 and smith go up, right? Like it's good to sometimes it's like that's what people want, right? And I think I can't think of a game, at least, I don't have one in mind that really does that well right now, or like captures that essence of like such
Right,
simple. I'm whacking a tree. I'm getting water from a pond. Like I'm farming, right? Um, like I'm mining, kind of feel.
right. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. It was very simple. Like you just do the thing and like it would level up.
Yeah,
And then it at that time, like in my simple childhood innocence, I didn't like really have to optimize things. It was cool to find like tips and tricks, but like I didn't really have to like enjoy my time. I have like I have a fond memory of scamming my dad out of $30 at the time because so like this is like we said like 27 like 2007 2008.
yeah.
Using your credit card online was a foreign concept. You were gonna get scammed by a digital pirate, and they were gonna vacuum up all your dollars
That's
from your bank
so
account to like
true.
some Nigerian country. And so convincing my dad to be like, hey, I want to subscribe to this thing called a premium membership for my online game. My dad was like, no way. And then I coerced him. I think I was like, hey, if I get like an A on this test or like A's on my report card,
Yeah.
will you do it? Somehow, some deal with the devil. And my dad was like, okay, here is my credit card. If my bank account information is in Nigeria, you are going to go to Nigeria and get it back yourself. And I was like, okay, bet. And so I got the premium membership. I don't really remember why I wanted it or like what benefits I got. I think I got to do like some cool premium only content.
Mhm.
And I got like a cape out of it. And then
Little
I think
cave.
some other quests, I think some other quests were unlocked for you because I think at that point in time I had reached the cap for like free game content.
Mhm.
Because essentially, if I'm remembering correctly, at the time it was level cap. Once you hit a certain level, you needed to pay to get to the next you needed to pay to be able to level up further, and then the quests were level gated. So essentially, the rest of the game was gated by premium content. So I was like, all right, my dad let me do this. I'm putting in his credit card. Here we go. I don't remember how much the membership was. I think it was like $5 or $10. But I had like done all this stuff. I succeeded in making my deal with the devil with my dad, so I could get the premium membership. And then I think I only played for like a month and I stopped. And then like I stopped playing, and RuneScape left my adolescent brain for a very long time. I want to say like at least 6 to 8 months. It could have been longer.
Mhm.
But my dad's credit card was still in RuneScape, and the makers of RuneScape Jagex, I think, were just like, all right, this kid is, we're not wasting any bandwidth on him playing. We are just sucking money out of this child's dad's credit card. And so I think they've got at least like 30 to 50 bucks out of my dad's credit card for free. They did not need to do a
Shit.
single thing, just convince a kid to put his dad's credit card information in the game. And then I was like, oh, one day I just woke up and I was like, oh, I
Okay.
just wasted like so much money. Let me go and cancel that.
That makes sense.
I
That's how they
I
get you,
don't know if
dude.
I still have.
That's how they get
That is how they get you. I don't know if I have access to that account anymore. I still know the password and account info, but it's probably I can maybe one day I'll see if it can log in. But yeah, that is how they got me.
you. Dude, if oh, what was I gonna say? Held it in too long. Gone like the
Joel,
wind. um, I was gonna ask you something about RuneScape, but I cannot remember now. Um,
did you ever play RuneScape?
I I played, thought it was boring as heck, and quit. So I remember. The funny thing is, I RuneScape was so popular.
Digimon Masters
No,
Online
no.
RuneScape. That's
I
what Jay is
I
saying.
I remember the exact like thing for RuneScape so vividly. It's crazy. So you spawn in a wooden house. This guy asks you for some wood. You go outside, get him, you chop wood, and then you go back and give it to him. That's the very first quest I did, okay? And I was like, this is stupid. And I freaking quit the game right then and there. Um, like,
Have you played Minecraft?
I haven't. I love Minecraft, and let me tell you, look, I was a naive young child back then. I didn't know what I wanted.
It is the same experience. My friend will come out I spawn in the woods. My friend comes up and he's like, "Hey, I need wood," and I'm like, "All right, bet. Let me get my Minecraft axe and chop down the tree."
That's what I'm
But in
saying.
RuneScape, it didn't work for Jay.
That's what I'm. Oh, sorry. That's what I'm saying, man. Um, and honestly, these subscription models, that's how they get you, dude. That's how they get you. They bet you won't ever cancel, and then they make it impossible to cancel too. They're like, you'll never stop paying."
Yeah, and I mean, maybe I could have gotten a refund, but I didn't even look into it. And I
Yeah.
think I like made it very low key to my dad that his money has gone into ether and did not make any value. So I don't remember him getting upset at me. So I kind of like walked away with that scotch free. I was like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah, for sure. That makes sense. Um,
All right. So for the next segment of the podcast, we have a little special thing for this episode. We're trying out a new thing called Rapid Fire. And so this segment is going to be called "Is This an MMO?" Blind J Hot Seat Rapid Fire Edition. And
I'm gonna
so
pop off.
the format of this is Jay knows about this segment, but he doesn't know what specific things he's going to get asked within the segment. And so I have picked 3 games that Jay does not know. And then really quick, I'm going to say one, and then Jay is going to have to answer on the spot if this game is an MMO or not. And if he has a lot to say or he gets like really heated, he's going to have to hold it because we're going to have to get the answers. We're going to have to go boom, 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 boom 3 times. And then after that, Jay can then discuss his answers. Jay, are you ready?
I am, dude.
All right. So let me pull it up. All right. Are you ready for your first game?
Yeah.
Is Roblox an MMO?
Oh my God. No.
Is League of Legends an MMO?
Yes.
Okay. It's Pokemon Go an
Oh
MMO.
my God, no. Y- yes,
Oh,
yes, yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
all right, all right.
Yeah, it is.
All right, Jay. Let's discuss.
Okay,
Number one was Roblox.
okay. So I'll be honest with you. My concept of Roblox isn't super. If you want to give me a quick refresher, but all I remember is like Roblox has like a bunch of games within it, and like you sort of join like a server, and then you can play that game.
That's pretty accurate.
Yeah,
Like I think if you did a TLDR, that's pretty close. That's pretty close.
yeah. I said no, uh, because it feels like uh it would to I guess like a very equivalent thing would be if like Mario Kart, if you think Mario Kart is an MMO, then I guess you could make a case it's an MMO, but really I don't think Mario Kart's an MMO. Like I would never say, like if you were to ask me, hey, is Mario Kart an MMO, or like, what's your favorite MMO, and somebody said Mario Kart, I'd be like, you're trolling. Uh so yeah, I view it in the same light as I view Mario Kart.
Let me qualify Roblox a little bit if this changes your answer or not. In Roblox, there are a lot of games that are persistent space where you it can be like anything. Like you maybe work at a pizzeria and you go there and there are other players in different jobs and you like do your tasks, you make money in this fake economy. There's a lot of games
Yeah.
that are set up in kind of like this server way that's it's like a running persistent instance.
Okay.
Does that color your answer at all? Or you're like, nah,
Is there like an
it's not an
economy
MMO.
with it or something?
There can be, yeah. It is. So the thing is, Roblox is also a creation tool, and so like you can kind of do whatever you want with it. So like, if you can imagine it, someone has probably done it. So yeah, a lot of these worlds do have like their own economies in it.
So I will say then it's very much like Gary's mod, and I stick with my answer of no. Like,
Oh,
ro-
okay.
ro-
All right. Okay.
Roblox itself isn't an MMO, but it's like a tool that you can use, or like, whatever they offer you to make that MMO, but it's not an MMO. Like,
There are
yeah.
millions of angry kids
Hey,
who have Robux on their Roblox account, and that are like, I am burning down this guy.
let's
But moving
go.
on to the next one. League of Legends, you said yes.
So I said yes because uh it's like, oh man, because if my argument for this might undermine my argument for the previous one, but hey, no, nobody can judge me, dude. It's rapid fire, and I'm gonna stick by my convictions. It is because
I'm
you
gonna judge
you
you.
are you can't play that game uh like without other. I guess technically you can play the AI game, but hey, that's like not meant to be the way you're
Oh,
meant to play the
interesting.
game, right? The whole point of the game is a PvP MMO style, like work with others game, which is why I will give League of Legends an MMO, because you're not one, you can't play, you usually don't play with the same against the same group of people. Obviously you can, but you're matched make with different people, and you can't uh the game doesn't really function um like it's not like a build your own, server and have it run however you want. No, it's like this is a game and you have to play against others, and it's a PvP uh game with many other people.
A very spicy potato. A very spicy take from our own
Wait,
Jay.
wait, wait.
Um,
Did you give your? What did you think about Roadblocks and League?
let's go through the last one, and then I will go through each one as
Okay,
well.
perfect.
Pokemon Go.
I said yes, right? The
Yes.
only reason I said yes is because they have raiding content now, and you do raids with other people. Now, if you can do raids alone, then I'm gonna say it's not an MMO, because that feels like the only.
But do you always need raids in any MMO for it to be considered an MMO?
No, not for me, but what really like puts it together is the multiplayer aspect. And if the only multiplayer aspect is like trading and like you do raids together, it it's like one of those cop out MMOs. Like that's why I said yes though, because it does feel
You heard it
like
here, folks. Second Life, which does not have raids, is a
no,
cop out
no,
MMO.
no. Look. Um,
Second Life is just like Mario Kart. No diff.
no, but it just yeah, I don't know. I would say because I said yes, right? And it does feel like an MMO. Like there are MMO aspects to it, but when I play the game, I don't feel immersed with others, right? Like I don't see others on my screen. The only time I interact with others is really during raiding. Like I can go PvP, but it's AFK PvP, right? Like I'm fighting an AI. So that's why I feel like it's a game that has MMO aspects, but it really doesn't feel like an MMO. But if I were to classify it as a game, I would add the MMO tag.
All right. So I will really quickly go through my
Okay.
answers. So one is Roblox. I will say yes, it is an
Okay.
MMO because you can have so many tit for tat MMO like definition MMO
Yeah.
experiences within their games, and they're like not just one offs. They're like online persistent things with economies and everything.
Okay.
That is so MMO to me. Um, to League of Legends to me is not an MMO.
Okay.
It is very because there's like definite cuts to your instances, like a match is only well theoretically if you're in Iron, your matches will go on for like 5 days because no one knows how to end the game. So
Yeah.
I think in that experience, it feels like an MMO, and real world starts to blur. But for me, League of Legends is not an MMO. There are some MMO like qualities like chatting, and there's some interesting things you can do with your currencies to like unlock
Yeah.
different skins or character or champions.
Yeah.
But overall, not an MMO for me. Three Pokemon Go, I would agree. It is an MMO for me. There's so much. I mean, in a lot of MMOs, you can do things on your own.
Hmm.
So just like that, Pokemon Go, you can play on your own, but there's so much togetherness when you're playing
Yeah.
Pokemon Go that you can play it with a lot of togetherness, like eating lunch in college and then somebody being like, "Yo, there's a freaking muck across the campus, like next to the dumpster. Let's go!" And everyone just like stands up and like walks together and catches that muck. That is such a togetherness aspect to me, and like it's kind of an indefinite online experience, and that to me like aligns a lot with the
You
MMO.
know what? I'll change my answer for League. It's
Nope, too late. All right, we're moving on
no.
to the next segment.
Okay. Okay. For sure.
So we are reading some listener responses for our question of the last episode. And so, Jay, do you want to read the question of the last episode?
Uh. Yeah. Captain Squirrel comes with us. I would be an awful
Oh, start with reading
Oh,
the prompt first.
apologies.
No, you're good. You're good.
If you were teleported into Pokemon, what would your team of six be? And would you try to become champion or just live out your days?
All right. So we have some listener responses. You want to go ahead and read that first
Yeah,
one, Jay,
yeah,
since you
yeah.
got a head start on it?
Yeah, my bad. Captain Squirrel
No, you're good.
comes to us with, I would be an awful trainer in the world of Pokemon because one, I don't really know most Pokemon type advantages or moves, and two, I would just feel really bad every time I lose because of my poor Pokemon getting beat up or dying. So I would just live,
Pokemon is a brutal
dude.
world, just like Project Zomboid.
It is. So I would just live out my days chilling hard and maybe doing some friendly matches. I would have these six: Porygon 2, Rotom, Charbug, Klinklang, Honedge, and Reboot. Porygon 2 and Reboot would be would be my besties. Rotom phone because of course I need one. Ch- Charge-a-Bug would be really useful as a portable battery, and it's kind of cute. And then Klinkling and Honedge just look really cool. Hey, this guy got his priorities right. That's all I know.
Shout outs to Captain
Shouts
Squirrel.
out.
Porygon 2, I know, has a special place in his heart. But yeah, really great response. I can read the next one. So this is from a listener, Ryan. He said, "I think I would try and be a champion, but I'm more of a big fish, small pond sort of guy. So I'd probably get a few badges, but stop before being champion." my team of Pokemon I'd have around me would be Duat, Primeape, Sandslash, Alola, Jolteon, Kulava, and Furret. But if I had the ability to become a gym leader or Elite Four member and not champion, I'd be an electric type gym leader with Jolteon, Rotom, and Toxicity as my core. Um,
Okay, that's a good
very,
takeaway.
very cool. Do you want to read the next one?
Yeah, Maddie comes to us with, "I'd be a Pokemon Ranger." Oh, that's a good take. So that would be living out your days, but uh, so I'd be a Pokemon Ranger because that seems more up my alley than being a trainer. I'd go with Jolteon, Plusle, Grovyle, Piplup, Buzzelle, and Lotad. Okay.
I Plusle is my favorite Pokemon, so I'm a big fan of this response. And also, Pokemon Rangers are a rare breed.
They really are.
Next one is from Ethan. He said, I'd say not for any tactical reasons, but just as a first instinct, Chandelure, Jolteon, Breloom, Metagross, Scyther, and Melodic. Those are the first six that come to mind. I'd probably challenge a few gyms and give up and live in the mountains to give cryptic advice to the protagonist. That is a well-respected role, and I think essential for any protagonist's
It
journey.
really is. And I'm seeing Jolteon a lot. It seems like Jolteon is a fan favorite here. Um, and then the last one, or not last one, Palm Wizard said Eevee, Pikachu, Vulpix, Growlithe, Dragonite, Piplup. I would be traveling, having fun, and helping out Pokemon and people that might need help. Wow, that's cute. That's cute. Uh,
Very chill.
yeah.
And so we have one from Door. He said, I would try to make a champion run in 2 consecutive leagues. Assuming a static team, I'd probably run Yanmega, Pangoro, Marwile, Hisuian Zoroark. Oh, that's a most recent, very recent addition. Empoleon and Flygon would get as far as I can with that, and then retire to become an ecologist and travel the world trying to chase legendary trios in different regions. That is an NPC you meet in a Pokemon game who triggers the legendary Pokemon crest.
100%.
Once I run into a couple, I can probably be one of those supporting characters in a Pokemon movie exactly that accidentally introduces sorry, I lost it. Ash to the title legendary and nearly dies from some Team Rocket clone encounter while trying to protect said legendary.
Okay. Okay. That's what you like to
I
hear.
think we have one last one that is just snuck in at the end.
Okay.
And so this is from Kevin, and he said, "I'd just be a farmer, I guess." Lol.
Okay, we got a farmer. Doesn't want any Pokemon, just wants to farm. Um, and then, uh, yeah, I mean, thanks for all the, uh, replies or um, writing in. And to end up our episode with question of the episode, have you ever cosplayed as your MMO character?
Reply in the comments or hit us up at our new Twitter SKG Pod. And yeah, thanks for listening.
Bye.